Real people, real celebrities, real talk.
Join the Breakfast Club.
Blast off in your
Weekday morning, 6 to 10.
It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. iHeartMedia and Fox presents Timbaland's Music Empire. Timbaland's here.
Mr. Mosley.
Now, people would always wonder, how did you get your start with producing?
Really messy, kind of. Mm-hmm. And what happened was, as a DJ, like, everybody think to me started off, if you didn't DJ, you can't really be a producer.
Right.
That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I love Mantronics back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happened was people stopped making good beats. I was like, I can't mix this.
Right.
And the music is like, as evolution has it, music gets whack. So that back then, music was whack.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, maybe if I make my own beat. So I couldn't afford nothing. So my mom got me this Casio keyboard where you only can sample 1 second. So we had to be creative how to sample in a second.
Right.
You know how creative you got to be? Like real, then slow it down on the last key and then come up with something and try to do.
Wow.
And over the tape decks, where you had the 2 tape decks, I dull one of the heads so it can overdub, and you had to kind of time it so you can hear it.
That's a lot. How would you even figure out how to do all that?
When you love music, you figure out how to make the best mixtape, and that's how you make money. So you try to be the best mixtape.
Absolutely.
You know how it goes. Like you had to pay them bills.
You got to show us how to do that now. Like,
I can't tell you how to. Technology has went up so much.
Those tape decks now.
You remember where you started.
You probably had so much imagination back then. You growing up in the projects in Virginia.
Yeah, you had a lot of imagination, and you know what's the craziest thing, and Envy can vouch for this, is like everything we thought of what they should do, they doing it now, so you have really no interest.
Right.
And you be like, why you do this when I was all gung-ho in this? You know what I'm saying? So now I got to learn how to do this thing again. You be like, I don't want to do this. I got kids. I'm trying to figure out how to fix guns and cars and build TV. You know what I'm saying? So now what I always wanted, they have it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but it's still complicated. The way I used to think it was still kind of simple. It's like, take it this way, blah, blah, blah. But now they put it on a computer, this, that, this.
So is it too easy for you now that it doesn't interest you?
You know what it is? I feel like today I really figured it out, the evolution of music. And what I learned is how I used to do hi-hat, like boom, boom, boom. The new thing on your Logic, Fruity Loops, or whatever you have, is the triplet thing. That is their way of being like me from the 90s.
Right.
It's like the double time, and it's like I don't see people going on the keyboard and creating it and sequencing it going back. They kind of draw, they look, boop, 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 and it has that kind of, it don't have that loose feel like how we used to jam.
Right.
So that's the difference now. People don't know the art of really making a beat, finding the drums, making your drums, finding hi-hats, making your hi-hats, buying records, putting it on a record, resampling it back into it. People don't do that no more.
You think it's too accessible for anybody to be a producer?
And I think that they putting out, and this goes just not for producing, just when Atari came out, you had to live with Atari. When Pac-Man came out, that was the only game that was good, and it was out for like 2 years before the next one came out. And the problem is today is they put out too much upgrades. Now look at iPhone. Upgrade iPhone 8.1.
Oh, I think you said iPorn.
Whatever. They might come up with it. Might steal that when I said it. Like, you know what I'm saying? iPorn. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much upgrade. Nobody. That's why we have the thing ADD, because
nobody stays on nothing.
Yeah, we don't. It's always somewhere you can find something new to upgrade it.
Well, you had an incredible run, and you always find the new. I mean, from DJing to producing to smaller groups to major groups to being here with us at iHeartRadio.
Yeah, I mean, but it's hard. I mean, it's 2015. It's like you really got to sit down and rethink and regroup.
You might be overthinking it, though. When you're sitting back in the crib in Virginia, you're not really overthinking it. You're just doing it for the love.
We're doing it for the love.
You might be overthinking it.
I could, but then it's like it's like, everybody come from this. When you come on the lights, there's 1,000 roaches on your kitchen or on your box of donuts.
Anymore,
Not no more.
Okay,
not no
right.
more. What I'm trying to say, but like even if it was anymore, I mean, sometimes it shows the evolution of like being there and going back. Right. You know, like you hear some people who had it all and lost it all. You know, but like when you was a kid, You cut the lights on when you come from the hood, it's 1,000 roaches.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's what's going on now. It's 1,000 people, and everybody
producers, thousands of DJs,
everybody send a beat,
1,000 rappers.
send a beat, send a beat.
Don't you feel like
email.
a lot of music that you've done has been timeless, like stuff that we could listen to today and say, okay, that still rocks?
I agree, but it's kind of downgrading for me because it's not encouraging, because we as people allow that non-music kind of factor kind of come in.
That garbage.
Yes. And I don't want to call people art garbage. It's not garbage, but it's more like it's too much. It's too acceptance. We don't put no tag on it.
It's
we
not
don't
finished. It's not.
Yeah,
it's too
like
quick.
we should judge it a little more, because when I got in the game, just like prime example, when you say you didn't like Magoo or this person, it's not that no more.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. When have you heard somebody say I don't like somebody they can't rap? You haven't heard that lately.
I still talk about people that I don't like that I can't.
But you come from my era.
Yeah,
We got to raise our standards.
Exactly. Even with
everything.
everybody around us, like we can't just allow that to go on the radio.
Gotcha.
Does that go back to what you said earlier, though? You said there's so many upgrades that people don't even master one thing yet, but then they move on to something else?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's like we accept the thing that grabs you, like, ooh, that's funny.
Right.
Okay, let's play that. And then I ask you, I'll go 2 years from now, girl, my life changed, or homeboy, my life changed, but do you still listen to that same song that got you amp on that day? No, you don't. You know what I'm saying? You always referring to real music that you played on the air that people might have gave you hesitance about it, or your program director said, no, why are you playing that? I'm telling you, this is going to be the jump. Nobody does that no more. Right. You just somebody come and play. It's just like the kids kind of say, oh, that's hot. No, that's not hot.
Gotcha. Well, this is Timbaland's Music Empire, so we want to know some of Timbaland's music friends. So we're going to say some names, some artists, and what's your relationship? Let's start off with Missy Elliott.
Missy, my sister. Wow, she's probably the hardest working girl in show business and the most difficult because Missy is particular about her music, meaning that she will make me go through 100 beats before she might get one. And it's not because of me per se, it's just because of what she know,
right?
How she make her fans feel. You know, she's a fun girl, and the beat has to have some element of that to make her, because she's a visual.
Gotcha.
And sometimes now living in this day and time, it's hard to it's really hard to adapt to the change.
Right.
Now think about everybody. You've been doing this as long as I've been doing it. It's hard. It's hard to figure out, because some of your standards are from what is right. So with Missy, she's still like, she keeps the same 90s standard, you know what I'm saying? And which is, I think, is brilliant. But we just live in a society where the time of ADD.
Gotcha. Was Missy the first artist to rap on one of your beats?
Missy was the first artist to ever rap and sing on one of my beats.
Wow.
Now let's talk about your relationship with Jay-Z. How's your relationship with Jay-Z?
Man, he's a big brother. He's a mentor. He's like, being with Jay, I could tell how he was, even though I didn't grow up with him. I can tell how he was as that guy in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you that.
He really so dope.
I don't know about all that. I'm just saying, like, he's a very smart man.
Right.
Like, he didn't belong, but he was. So he's a true testament to saying, don't judge a book by its cover. He is the true testament of don't judge. Just because I live in this building and I hang around these people, I'm just as smart as you and your mama and your grandma. That might be the smartest man that I probably know. Like, as a black man, like, and just the way he thinks, the way he sees music, the way he vision out his life.
Gotcha.
I mean, just riding. He used to pick me up back in the day in a Range Rover, like when I stayed on 62nd Street. And he's like, when I listen to him talk, and I'm like, this guy very smart. And I ain't as smart as him, but I was like, wow. Like, you sure you, bro?
All right, what about Justin Timberlake?
My brother. All these people like my brothers. Like, and Justin is his cut. He just like, I was just with him last night. What we have is so magical. Like, it changes everything. And it feels like to the world that I do a lot of pop, but I really don't.
Right.
I only really do one. But his music and what we do is so powerful, it feels like I do everything.
Right.
But it's really, if you notice, I haven't done anybody outside of him as a male, as a white male, because what's the point? Like, I'm not,
That's the standard.
It's not so much as he's my friend.
Right.
Like, he's not an industry guy. He's my friend. Like, when I felt like I met him the same time when I met Missy. He was around me at the same time, like, Tim, come on back out, let's create this music, and trying to get a deal. Like, we are really, I don't even look at him as the guy on stage. You know what I'm saying? I look at him like, wow, he really did this. Like, we grew up, it felt like we grew up together. For real. And it's like we both from the South. Our moms know each other. Like, our whole family, like, we do a lot of family stuff.
Right.
Like, his grandfather died. I was there. You know what I'm saying? It's beyond music. So when the music happens, to us, it's just a natural, magical thing.
Who brings out the best in you as a producer?
I think all those people that we just named,
Right.
you know, they are great with me and without me because they are great people.
Right.
And they're brilliant people. They're wonderful people. They deserve the best as a person. When you meet, if you met Jay, you met Justin, you met Missy, they never been disrespectful. They carry themselves as honorable people. And to me, that makes you great. Right. You know, just having a great spirit and knowing that you're not always right, that you can accept being wrong and give other people advice. You know, when I got out of line, they was the ones that helped me. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, everybody lose it, but we all is there to help each other. Like, yo, you tripping. You know what I'm saying? And that's the beauty about being a great person. When you can tell me, Tim, you too cocky right now. And I don't look at you like you can tell, I'm like, damn, for real? Why you think so? Because look how you answer. And that's what makes you great, when you can accept criticism. Yes,
absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? I think that's what makes you great.
It's Timbaland's music empire. Timbaland's here.
Now,
Yes.
Tim, your sound is very unconventional. It never seems to fit into anything that's currently out. Do you ever have moments where you wanna like follow the trend to get radio?
You know what? I can't lie. I have, and maybe that's why I didn't work, because I have followed and tried to follow, and those songs didn't work. You know, like we put out a Missy record before, not Ninth Inning, but the one before that, and it sounded a little dated. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need a reality check, you know, and the reality was stop trying to follow and just figure you out. Right. And what happened was you do have to follow a little bit, because if you're not caring and you're not doing anything for, like, because me, I'm not a beat producer. I'm a producer. I'm a music producer. I don't go just do beats for everybody. So if I'm not doing anything for 4 or 5 years, what you gonna think? Oh, he cold, or he fell off. And I had to prove to the world in 2006, and that's when I ran it always like 2012. People thought, you know, oh, he ain't got it no more, anybody checking for him, and blah, 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 blah. The industry, not so much the world, but the industry. So it's like, oh, he's cold, he don't blah, blah, blah. And then when I came back out, it's like we changed radio again. So to that question is, I follow, if I'm not in it and I'm not active, I see what's going on, and I take the most thing that people love, which I think the people love today is bass. So I'll take bass lines, or, oh, that's how y'all flipping it? Oh, let me show you how, because I did that in 1994. And I'll pull out the old record books. Oh, this is what we going back to? All right, let me show you how to do it 2016 way.
Did you ever make records strictly for radio? Like when you had that big radio run where it was all Timbaland every minute of the day on the radio, were you making those records strictly for radio?
You know what? I think half and half. I think I was kind of brainwashed by just label, and my biggest thing I always had urban. You know what I'm saying? Urban always been my main supporter, but I feel like I wanted to take over the world. And with me and Justin, we did. You know, and with Jay and stuff I did with B, we took over the world, because I felt like what I wanted to do was cross over to the pop side, but not really changing me. And it did work. And I had everybody wanting to go do pop music, but I still kept
your sound,
that black in it, that
black baby,
that umph in it. And I just figure out, but you know, it's called the art. Finding out what everybody loves and giving them a piece of what, you know what I'm saying? I can't isolate you. If you're like, I'm like, well, what do you like? And then he'll be like, oh, I like when the bells. I said, okay, so let me get her that. What you like? And you be like, blah, blah, blah. Okay, what makes you groove?
Right.
So it's taking all of what y'all like and putting it into one. It seems easy, but it's the hardest thing ever.
Absolutely. Now explain your involvement in Empire, because that doesn't seem easy to do either. That seems like it's a lot of work. Seems like it's not. You don't
and they
have
have
any
been.
days off.
Listen, let me tell you something. This show, first of all, is super exciting because obviously Terrence Howard, Taraji P Henson's in it.
Yeah.
You're in it, and you're also scoring.
Yeah, it's a little trying because it's the first time working with Fox, and Fox is one of the greatest networks. You know, a lot of people have, you know, their complaints about certain things, but hey, you can't complain when they're trying to make a change. You know, whatever your complaints and saying they're this, they're that, but look what they're doing. They're giving us a shot. So it's a marriage. I feel like if this show is a hit, we got the second season and the third season. You know, I feel like the first season was more of me being the executive producer, Lee being his show. We have to go find people. I had to put people that was under my belt, that's under my crew, like Team Timbo, to go do certain things. I couldn't do everything myself. You know what I'm saying? I had to really oversee it. So it taught me something like, no, you're a boss. Like you got to make the sound be right for the movie, not you do everything.
You have to delegate who's going to make that.
Yes. So that was a little different because I'm so much of a hands-on person that, well, wait a minute. No. We just got to be turning like that. I just need you to listen and approve. So I have these certain people I put in place from, you know, like Jim Beans, King, Jerome. These are my Team Timbo. So I put all that. I said, we got to do this. We got to do this. But what happened is they start doing, and I'm more just doing the delegating. And I'm like, wait a minute. Then I go back when it comes to the soundtrack. I add my sounds, but it was moving so fast because it's TV.
Right.
And I'm learning, now that we're at the end of the show, I'm now learning the process how TV shows work.
But the music is so important on a show like this because it is centered around the music industry.
It is centered around music, but it's really centered around the drama, too, and the writing and what Lee is trying to bring. I feel like as we go along, just like in any business, your first is not at the top. Sometimes it might take you a year or two to get to the creme de la creme. And I feel like when we as we get more and more into the episodes, I think when we get to season 2, and I'm speaking far-fetched ahead.
You got to speak it into fruition, man.
Yes, and I feel like that's when you're going to really see the music. Because right now you're going to see the drama of a woman being used and a man becoming very powerful.
It shouldn't be that hard for you to do, though, because all your production has always had like a big cinematic feel to it anyway.
Yeah, you know, but see, when you got new people in your roster like Tink and all that, it makes you think a little
differently
ahead of this time.
Right.
So it's almost like you got to turn back some pages. And I think that once you showcase the world, when it comes to Timbaland, people could be like, that ain't. When you're great, they judge you. So they put you on a microscope. So they scrutinize you so hard.
But they're judging you based off your past work, though.
And you know, like when you set
against yourself.
Exactly. So when you put a standard out there, and if it kind of go a little to the backwards to like, oh, that's like Crime and River. Oh man, you still doing you late. You know what I'm saying? So that could happen in this. But I'm just telling people that it's a story. You starting from the beginning to the end. So it has to evolve.
And it has to be cohesive. Like
exactly.
Everything has to tie together.
It can't be just coming out. You're like, whoa, some stuff's going to feel like that.
Right.
But you got to show the evolution of evolving to being what is called an empire.
So basically, you got to dumb it down a little bit.
A lot of it.
Now, did you get in the show itself? Was you a cast member?
Yes and no. Yes, because I felt like it was a scene that Lee wrote, but I felt like we should wait a little bit. Let it build a little bit more. You know,
not in the first season.
Probably not in the first season. Okay. It could be. I could, but I had 2 parts. But one part, me and Lee, we wasn't sure. We wasn't completely sure. And then I'm like, I don't want to be looking corny.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be. Yeah, I said I'm already kind of cornball my own little way, so it's like, don't make me more corny. You know what I'm saying? Don't.
You're not corny, Tim.
Nah, I mean, corny to me is great. Like corny to me, standing in the house with my family. Some people think that's corny.
No, that's not corny.
Of course not. You know what I'm saying? But think about to the generation of different society. They were like, you don't go out.
Standing on the couch in the club, popping bottles.
Yeah, you're supposed to do a lot of different things. And who I supposed to be, the guy, I'm supposed to be certain places. But I just don't have that inspiration in life.
Did you spend a lot of time in Chicago since it takes place in Chicago?
You know, I didn't spend a lot of time, but my wife had a lot to do with the show. Like, she did a lot of consulting. She did a lot of the wardrobe, the dressing.
The whole family eating. That's what I'm talking about, Timbo.
You got to.
All right.
You got to.
I was watching the Empire special the other night, and I saw that she was like a music consultant and fashion.
Yep, she did all of that. So I was more like really doing nothing, like conducting. Like, I like to work,
right?
But this was a different type of work, like getting on the phone, telling people, talking to lead, reading the script. No, this song should get like this. Send me the beat. Oh, no, change it. Let me add this. So it was like, wait a minute, this is going a little bit too fast. I don't feel hands-on like I need to be. But then once they explain it to me, I'm telling you, being honest, I just now figured it out. And we at the end of the season. End of the shooting.
I saw you say that this show is your life. I saw you say that on the special.
It's you know why? Because it's where I'm going to be tomorrow. Meaning, like, I feel like I'm building an empire. Like, I figured life out in a different way. And, you know, as men, you know how we sit down and be like, I figured it out. Now, some people figure it out more than others. Right. You know, some people figured it out at 27. So happening, I figured it out now, you know, and I felt like what I'm building, like me, I don't want to be like the guy on stage like that all the time. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be in the back and really be like Lucius and really run an empire, like starting with my young artists, building them up, and, you know, just keeping music alive. So I felt like in the TV show, it kind of resembles what I'm trying to do for real.
This is confusing to me because I always felt like you already did that. Like, you've had groups like Nelly Furtado. You had Nelly Furtado. You had One Republic. You had Carrie Hilson.
You're right.
You had all those groups.
But I feel like I now got to speak about it. Makes sense. Like, I feel like I got to speak about our relationships. I feel like everybody criticized, oh, you being too, you know what I'm saying, like, having a mentor like yourself, like, if we'd never got to be close, I never knew I was, you know, cocky. It wasn't humble. Right. You know what I'm saying? I need that. So I never had that around. So now I can do it.
Did Envy tell you were cocky and not?
Well, Envy, he never that. We talk we friends, so we talk. He might tell me certain things.
You called Envy a mentor. Envy needs a mentor.
Yeah.
Like, y'all need each other.
We mentor each other.
Please mentor Envy.
What? You know what Envy did this morning? Yesterday he drove around with his shirt off and a baby bib on.
But guess what? I mean, hey, look. Envy been doing it a while.
He deserves to walk around with his shirt off. The baby bib.
He is the top. He is one of the top. He is the top DJ. And I feel like it's like, you know, hey, man, look at me. I started this. And when I saw him do that day on the show, it wasn't about the records being played. I saw something in this man that I said, this man is great.
You talking about when he broke Tank that morning? Your new artist, Tank.
See, boy, you great. You something else.
Let's get into another Timbaland record. Well, first let me explain. Let me tell him what happened.
It doesn't matter. It's not about you, Envy.
It is about him.
No, it's not about him.
Riding around with your shirt off with baby bib on.
I want to know why. Like, he should know. We should know.
It doesn't even. There's no reason.
He was high.
No, I wasn't. I was driving with my daughter to school and we were talking. I said, you know what? I'll embarrass you. And she said, no, you won't. So I took my shirt off as I was driving and put my little son's baby bib on and took her to school.
I've done that, not take my shirt off. I haven't took my shirt off, but I embarrassed my kids. You know what I'm saying? I haven't done that part.
Would you want your kids to be in the music business like in Empire?
You know what? I would want, it's a job. And I try to, like, I know the business is corrupt, but isn't everything in the world? And everything's corrupt, don't you think? Everything has its bad points.
Absolutely.
Every job has its bad points. So, I mean, I want whatever's best for them, whatever their heart desires. That's what they should do.
You encourage it, though?
I tell them, you know, they see me doing around the house. I don't want to encourage it because I want it to come natural. I want to see what God's gift is their gift, you know. Like, my daughter loves to sing, but she says she want to be a teacher. But you keep singing and keep doing all this music stuff, but you keep screaming you want to be a teacher.
Now, I'm about to ask you, I've seen your daughter singing, and she's an adorable thing. Do you get mad at social media? Because they go at no matter what. They could go at your sneakers, your kids, your family. Do you look into it like that or not?
I just, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I think that 2015, I kind of said to myself, I said, now you can follow me. I want people to follow me on Instagram, but not me. Follow the news that I'm about to post. You know what I'm saying? I think that
we got to disconnect a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel the same
I
way.
feel like we got to, I want to just turn this off and get back to this.
Right.
Let's talk. Let's
Look each other in the
communicate.
eye.
Yeah, let's go out. Let's have a drink. I don't want to text you.
I mean, I feel the same way. We just got to get rid of these phones, though.
Yeah, no, I saw Andy
And we
Martinez.
got to stop. We got to stop iPhone 6, iPhone 7. Go back and say, you know what? If Apple did this, I think they would make the most money. And I want percentage when I say this. Get rid of all the iPhones and go back to just like say, you know what? We messed up. You got to go back to the flip phones. If the world, they did
That's
that.
a 6 Plus, though, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
if they just got rid of all like the 5s, 4s, 3s, they went back to the original one and said, this it.
Stop making them smart.
Yeah,
make them dumb again.
we you know what? We went too far.
Get you a two-way pager.
And yep. And you know what? The world would be like, huh? They'll be upset. But guess what? Everybody go jump and go get it because they think it's something special.
I saw a
They
quote
think it's something in there.
I saw a good quote the other day that says you have to disconnect from technology in order to reconnect with yourself.
Yeah, we brainwash, man. We don't communicate. You know, like I can tell you something on a text and thinking that you're more madder than what you really are. I be like, man, that's messed up. You look at you don't know how you worried the whole day.
Things. Absolutely.
And I'm like, that's retarded. What happened to picking up the phone?
But you know what? At my house now, I make sure I try not to text anymore. I pick up the phone and call.
And we do call you, though.
I want to speak to somebody. I don't like texting.
I know. I'm like, why couldn't he text me this?
In a minute.
Yeah, I'm like, why couldn't
know
you
what?
just text this? to me?
You know what?
I hate the text.
I think you're right. And I think my problem is I just now figured it out. I'm like, we got to cut this out. This is ridiculous.
Now, Tim, you got in a lot of trouble when that Aaliyah movie dropped on that weekend. You was raising a lot of hell on that Instagram.
Yeah.
Did anybody call you and say, hey, chill out, Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple DMs.
I think I got a couple texts like, yo, it's enough. And I was like, I did stop. Then I guess, like, I have other people running some of my stuff. I guess they kept it going a little bit more.
Yeah, a lot.
And I'm like, wait a minute, man. Y'all just got to chill out. Right. No. They're going to call us. They got to apologize. I said, well, okay. If that's what I don't feel like it's done now. It's over with. And that's the problem. If it was back in the day, it wouldn't just be done now.
Right.
It'd still be going on because it had to be like, why would we do this? This is this girl life.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but it just dropped. It's over with.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We moved on to another subject.
Yeah, now we're like, okay, Whitney Houston biopic
It makes
coming
you
out.
wonder, did people ever really care to begin with?
Bingo. And I'm like, what are we really doing here? That's why I say technology, man. We got to like stop putting so much out so fast. Let people marinate on what you just got.
Easy to say that, but everybody wants the newest thing, the freshest thing. They want it now.
You know what? Have you lately looked in your closet, right? And you got clothes that you ain't wearing.
Yep.
And you be like, I'm gonna go. You go shopping, and one day you just walk in your closet. You know what? I got enough clothes in here.
I'm not buying nothing else.
Exactly for
I do
about
that all
2
the
years.
time.
Right. It's the same thing. You got to do your own reality check,
Right.
and tell yourself, or your accountant got to be like my accountant, like, yo, you just buying a bunch of clothes. You just buying 1,000 for what? I know you lost weight, but god dang, what are you doing? Like, what's really
Right.
good? Like, are you depressed or something? Because then you think about it, you be like, what am I really doing? Like, I can't wear this 24/7. So, to me, it was just a reality check, like on everything. Like, we got to wake up.
Gotcha.
You got a good balance of both, though, because, like, of course, you got your new artists like Tink, but then it seems like you still show love to the Genuines and Petey Pablo.
Yes.
I see you in the studio with them.
Yeah, because I think that, just trying to show them, like Petey, like take Petey for instance. He's been gone for 2 years.
Right.
And
Now, he was arrested for he carrying a
gun. Like, and it might sound, people might laugh, but he really just grabbed his book bag late for a flight. He forgot he had it in his book bag.
I feel like that happens all the time.
It happens
That's
all
It
the
not
does.
the only time.
You know what I'm saying?
I
But-
never heard of nobody going
But
to jail.
but there was like, he already went to jail before in his past, so it was like
he wasn't supposed to even have this.
exactly. So when and they was real cool with him too. They didn't put no like he couldn't leave the country or nothing like that. They was like, man, if you wasn't openly in the airport, maybe we would have let it slide.
Yeah.
But now it's like, he's like, man, I don't want to do this. The cop was saying that to him because you're a good guy, but I gotta report it, man. And he was like, I know, man, do what you gotta do. Just tell me what I'm faced with, what I got to do. You know what I'm saying?
Be like that.
Yeah, and so this particular time, him going in has really, when he got out, the world has changed.
Yeah, a lot.
And I was telling him that you really need to figure out, connect with one of these youth and find somebody younger and stand beside them, and you be the guy beside them. And I think that's how Buster's doing with OT Genesis. You know what I'm saying? I think that we have now live in a society where your little brother is the man.
Right.
And you never looked at he could be a star.
Right.
You just like, oh, my little brother, my little cousin. Now it's the world of the little brother and little cousin.
Your little brother was rapping, right?
Yeah, he's that, but now he's doing like some other stuff, like in Vegas, like they be doing like that gambling stuff. That stuff is like numbers. How he be doing that stuff good. He know the spreads. He be knowing it to a T. Really? And I be like, ain't that?
Wait, he counts cards?
He could count them. He don't do it, but he can count it.
That's what he is.
But he good at it.
Right,
like he's good at it. Like it's a gift. I'm like, well, maybe you should go back to school.
Has he called you and asked you for money yet?
No, I'm calling him asking him for money. Like I'm like, yo, man, it's too easy. It's too easy.
Now, the producers, do the guys like the Genuines and P.D. Pablos bring anything new out of you?
I think they're looking for me to bring something out of them.
Got you.
And I just tell them that I'm still getting back. You know, I'm back getting hot to the newer generation that who don't really know my work. Mm-hmm. So you can't rely on me, because relying on me is it's like looking at two frogs, waiting to jump. Like it ain't gonna work. Like I'm not the guy. I'm just the guy with the music. But it's up to you to get yourself hot. That's what reality. That's the good thing about social media. Mm-hmm. Like you could put out music. You don't gotta wait for me. People always do these setups. Oh, I gotta be set up right. There's no such thing as set up right.
Well, you said that your new artist Tink brought that out of you.
Yeah, let's talk about the new setups. Let's talk about Tink. Tell us about Tink.
What has she bought out of you? Because I see a new Tim, man.
But before that, explain who Tink is, because people might not know who Tink is.
Well, Tink is somebody that God blessed me with. I mean, that's the best way to put it. She's a girl from Chicago that she really is to me. How the way she kind of grew up, it reminds me of if she was Missy's cousin back in the day.
She had finger waves?
I don't know. Now, so you go to. I don't know if she had nothing like that, but I just saying like her talent.
Right.
It's just not normal, and it's like. We forget that. How old were we when we came in? How old was you when you start DJing? Like we forget that we was that young. So to see it again is kind of like it just make you reflect on life and appreciate. What she brought out of me is appreciating life more and what God has in store for you. Like your chapter's never over unless He says it's over. So what she has done has inspired me because she's so smart in how she picked music and how she arranged music. I never seen somebody at 19 do that. And I don't have to tell her, oh, move that note, do that note. She's telling me to move that sound, put that sound right there. It's going to be fresh, Tim. I'm telling you, my girls want to hear this. I'm telling you. And I'm like, girls want something you can feel. Women want to feel. Like my friends want to feel. These girls ain't feeling no more. They're just doing it for gimmicks and laughs and Instagram posts. And I'm like, but ain't you 19 and that's what you do it for? No, I want to. My dad grew up on showing me about feeling, played your music. I felt it, And one day, I'm going to tell you the illest thing that just happened recently. We was together and we was all talking. And I was like, we're talking about Lil' Kim. She's like, I know Lil' Kim, but don't be mad at me. I don't know Lil' Kim. I'm like,
she's
what?
only 19 now. Tink's only 19.
I'm like, what? So I played Lil' Kim, Queen B. That girl had a smile on her face, and it felt so good to introduce her to something that got me moving at that time. Then she was like, this was like this back then. She's like, I know Lil' Kim, but I didn't know Lil' Kim.
Right.
Like, wow. So she really actually sat down and studied it. I said, hold on. Pause. Go to Foxy Brown. She's like, what? This was popping? I'm like, yes. That's why we look at you like, how did you get all this information?
Right.
And I'm playing Biggie and all this stuff. I'm like, how do you come in like at 19? That's why people freak out, because look what we grew up to and just how you sounding in this day and time. We thought it never existed no more. So that's why we look at you like that. And now it clicked to her, and it was like, I get it. And then now she just studies all those type of those records. I give her albums to go back listening to, and so now she's just like a sponge. She want to study it. So we just did this song called In the Morning, and she said, watch this. I'm gonna go hard on this. I'm gonna kill him on this one. And that's all she said. Then when I came back in the room, I just like, you never seem to amaze me.
Right, I can't wait to hear Tink's full length album.
Man, you can't just talk about her without playing something. Jesus Christ.
I always play something, but it's dirty. She's not. At 19, she tried to be as clean as she can be.
Well, let's get into Tell the Children then.
Yeah, she could tell the children.
Yeah.
That's a great and for what's going on. Sometimes, that's like, even she said this when she dropped that, when she made that record, she said, Tim, I wanted to speak because it really affected me. I'm 19.
Right.
And I'm like, but 18. She said, no, Tim, that boy's 18. That could have been my brother.
Right.
She had tears in my eyes on the phone. I'm like, I ain't look at it like that.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I gotta drop this record.
Now we're about to get into a Timbaland mix, produced and mixed by me, yours truly, DJ Envy.
Timbaland could have did that himself. He is a DJ.
They asked Timbaland, and Timbaland was like, I think Envy
I want Envy to
better.
do it.
Oh, okay, that's smart. See, there you go, delegating duties.
That's right, because he's better. I mean, he's great. I just think that I see, like I told you, and I told y'all, and Charlamagne knowing I could vouch. I said, look, and I'm going on air and saying this. Give it probably by next year. This will be the most. It already is, but y'all show gonna be out of hand. Remember, I told you that because I can predict when I'm fully focused.
Right.
I can tell you who's gonna be big and who ain't gonna be big. Mm-hmm. This right here is bigger than what y'all think.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
God, from your mouth to God.
I'm telling y'all. Y'all don't take it light. I'm telling you.
Well, let's get into this Timbaland mix now. If you buy the Empire State, the lights in the Empire State are going to be lighting up to this mix. And then after, we're going to world premiere a song called No Apology.
Yeah, from the show.
Empire debuts Wednesday.
January 7th, right?
January
That's a
7th.
Wednesday. And I want to say I did see the first episode, and I'm mad I got to wait to see what's going to happen next.
I tell you, Cookie is the truth.
Love her.
She is the truth in this, and Terrence, his name is Lucian, and the three brothers. Is it two? Yes, three brothers.
Of them. Who would you have picked?
I don't know. It's kind of hard because I'm still. I haven't saw all the episodes too. I only saw the first two so far. So and I watched as it was doing it, but I'm like, I don't know because it's tricky because you could pick the bad boy, and that's the little young one
To run the empire.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, tune into Empire Wednesday, January 7th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We appreciate you joining us, Timbaland.
I want to ask Tim one quick last question.
Shoot.
What is the legacy of Timbaland? Because you're alive to answer it for yourself. A lot of people don't get a chance to do that.
The legacy of Timbaland is helping others. And my thing is, I don't want to leave. I want to leave this world knowing that if I'm a friend to you, all the people around me, I've gotten 6 figures or more. And the one thing you can say about when you're in my crew, I get you paid. Maybe I won't get as paid as much, but I feel like I don't like going to a store or going to a place and we can't talk about the same things or buy the same things.
That's
you know
real.
what I'm saying? I like to help out. I think we here, God put us on earth, not, we're going to always have our wealth, but if you're chosen to be that special person, you are chosen with a lot of other obligations, and that is like helping others.
Gotcha.
And when you help others, your success keeps going.
All right. There you have it. It's Timbaland, ladies and gentlemen. Timbaland's Music Empire. It's the Breakfast Club. And again, check out Empire. Debuts Wednesday, January 7th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.